We are live. Welcome back. We've got Milton the Sports Card Pup. All excited about today's openings. Just got home. Oh, we've got Cha-Cha. That growl was for Milton. Getting too close to him. He's saying, my human. Mine. He's only known me for a few days, but he is territorial. Say hi to people. The blue light. There's Cha-Cha. I will be bringing him tomorrow to Wardeka Brewing at noon for an adoption event through K9. He is very sweet. He's cuddly. He likes attention. Likes hanging out with me. He is territorial. When he picks a spot, doesn't want the other dog or cats near him. Most of the time, he's just fine. But we haven't. I mean, we do supervise him when both he and the cats are around, but we haven't had to do like a hard separation. Buddy. Like at night, they're all just in here. And he won't tolerate the dog or the other cats in the bed. So he'll come. So as right now, he's tolerating Milton being close to him. My buddy. But Milton probably can't get any closer than that. So we'll see. If he doesn't get adopted tomorrow, he'll probably be with us through Christmas, which is fine. He's a good guy, and that was kind of what our plan was anyway. But he hasn't been the best playmate for Milton. They're very different in size and personality. Milton just wants to play and play. I'll make sure he actually lies down and doesn't try to go potty. There he goes. Good boy. So I watch very little football. Haven't been watching hockey or basketball, the NFL, NHL, NBA. Really haven't watched any of the top sports leagues in a while. So I'm definitely going to cut back on my collecting. I have been cutting back on the collecting. No immediate plans for going places. Just because there's not as much to go to. So just not going to the top leagues all that much. All right. We've got some Orioles. We've got some Caps. So we'll start here. You look like Bowman. This is a couple months old, so I'm not sure exactly which Bowman it is. All right, let's see. You look like Mojo's. So we got Kobe, who I have a feeling is about to become a pitcher. Since I think Pete Alonso is going to have first base locked up. So I can see them keeping Mayo or Mountcastle. Certainly not both. Mayo's probably worth a bit more. We're paying a bit less. So I guess it depends on our trade partner. Really don't need much more besides pitching. So Mountcastle for an elite reliever. Mayo in a package for elite starter. I don't know. But I am happy to see them making moves. I'm still in my decision-making phase of Yankees or Orioles for next year. Can't really be both because they're the same division. And while I've always enjoyed the historical Yankees, I've really got into the current crop. I like, hey, Cha-Cha! I like Cole. Judge is fine. I still like the uniforms and all that. All right. So my top loader from that group was a Kobe. The fact that so many players are going to shift, I do not like. I was listening to a Spurs podcast the other day, and they were talking about how one of the other teams improved through ruthless trades and player acquisition and cuts and all that. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, do you get rid of a long-time, loyal, popular player to slightly improve that position? Maybe. But I like the long-term, loyal, popular players more. Haven't decided on Gunner yet. Obviously, he's very good. But with his agent, who knows if he'll actually stick around. Or if he wants to, which is always hard to like. It's not like he chose Baltimore. Wasn't a free agent signing. If he signs an extension, okay. That's our guy. If he's a free agent signing, well, that's our guy. Which is kind of like why I like the college athletes, because they chose here. But then, of course, they've chosen here for a year. All right. We've got a Griff O'Farrell autograph on Mojo, yes, they call it. But having players just shift from one team to another very quickly and trades and all that just makes it harder to buy into your player long term. All right, we've got some ice. Looks like there's something hefty in this one, so we'll do that last. I'm sort of into too many different teams right now for hockey. I've got my Friday season tickets for the Bears, which really only amounts to like 2 games a week or 2 games a month. I'm still trying to do the Gardens as much as I can, but that's usually pretty late at night and only so often. And I feel like I haven't gotten into University of Maryland at all. I've only gotten to a couple of UMBCs. So I don't know if something has to give there. All right. We've got a purple Obi. We've got 2 green Carlsons. There's 2 of them. So that's just left me not following the Caps as much. I'll still listen to them if I can, especially on a weeknight. Always nice. Oh, hold on. We have here essentially a rip card. Ooh. We've got a frozen and ice. Ovi. I'm not going to rip it right now, so I'm going to have to do some research on just what I've got here. It's a thick card. Oh, the guy. Got little legs. Come here, buddy. Up we go with our little legs. You like the Ovi? Try to like it. I don't know if that increases or decreases the value, buddy. I just put his paws on my hand. All right. So it feels thick, like a memorabilia card. Check inside. Inside this frozen and ice card are numerous possibilities. Look for Ice Premier minis as well as numbered parallels. To discover what's inside, open the card using the perforated line on the back. So it doesn't destroy the front of the card. But I'm not going to do this just yet because I want to see what it's worth and all that. Someone just take away my leg? Why would you do that? It's Ovi. All right. We got a Spice. Ovi. Medium. There it is. It's the kind of spirit we're looking for. All right, viewer. We can go to football or wrestling next. Or I suppose holiday. All right, football it is. We've got some Phoenix, Ravens, and Commanders. Again, I have tried so hard to get into football, and I failed. Another thick-looking thing in here. The Military Bowl is coming up. ECU versus Pitt. 2 teams have no interest in, but we did have fun the one year we went. Just not worth spending money on for a team I don't care about. And like East Carolina doesn't even care about it because they all left. They got hit by the transfer portal pretty hard. I don't know. The non-playoff bowls might be dying. It's fun, don't get me wrong, but you know, they're always like tropical location, special event. Not, I guess technically they made a bowl game. So let's send them to Annapolis in the middle of the wintertime. We got some Commanders. So I'd probably go if it was cheaper. I just don't want to spend that much money on 2 teams I don't particularly care about. And it's going to be their B string because of all the transfers on top of all that. Back when it looked like Maryland was actually heading for a bowl, I was actually getting excited about maybe they make the Pinstripe Bowl. I get to go to New York for that. But then, of course, Maryland did not make it. And it's Penn State going. I don't like Penn State. That hurts. All right, we've got a thick card here. It is Regeneration. Look at that. To 199. Triple jersey patch. Doug Williams, Jaden Daniels, Joe Theismann. Look at that. I mean, it all looks like the same piece of cloth. So it could just be a piece of cloth with three random, not random, but three Commanders players on it. I'm not sure I buy that it's a piece of each of the three of them's jersey, but it is a jersey-looking piece. Williams, Daniels, Theismann. Of course, it says not from any specific game or event. So not guaranteed player worn, not guaranteed game used. Means it's usually not. But it is cool looking. It's probably a pretty decent hit. So good call there, mystery viewer. Good call. Back to the well. Some more mojo. So not planning on too much sports over the vacation. Just we're not planning on traveling that far. And there's just not too much going on. Maybe I'll get to a Maryland basketball game. I've never been to a men's basketball game at Maryland. Haven't been to a women's game at Maryland in a few years. A good time to go. All right. Got some football. Maybe we can figure out who my Scottish Premier League team is after all this time. Doubt it's going to be the Rangers. Not a huge fan of the Old Firm, even though there's a lot of players I enjoy watching on it. The stadiums are too big. I like the smaller stadiums. So let's see here. There's a UEFA set out that has Spurs and Rangers and Celtic. So Rasmus Koslin to 99. And James Tavernier. So I wouldn't say I dislike the players on Celtic and Rangers. It's a little bit too big for me. So I like the smaller stadiums, the underdog teams. I'm doing this weird thing where I'm getting into like the historical University of Maryland players. I mean, Derek Queen was just last year, but like I said, I literally never went to a game that he played in. Just didn't. And I'm not going to see the Pelicans when they play the Wizards because we got a Bears game that night. But I am drawn to collect these cards, which is weird since I never actually saw him play in person. There's a best baller, Derek Queen. Really should listen to Pelicans games. A masterpiece, Derek Queen. And the best baller numbered to 50, Derek Queen. Oh, and this one was numbered to 75. This other one. So out of 50 and out of 75. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's go holiday next. So big old pack of Topps Holiday Baseball. It says here we got some Orioles, we got some Cubs. Cubs because we're hunting Matt Shaw, who is another former University of Maryland player that I never once saw play at the University of Maryland. And I don't really follow Like, I know he's good, obviously, but I haven't really watched him play in MLB either. So it's weird that he's one of my PCs, but whatever. All right, it's a thicker box, so maybe we got some top loaders. Let's see. There was a case, and I got the O's and I got the Cubs. I decided last weekend that I like the baseball set more than I liked the basketball set because it's just more variety and better cards. We do have a top loader. Can't tell who it is yet. It is an ornament. Looks like a Cub. It's not Shaw, though, I don't think. Who are you? Oh, we have two of them. We got Kyle Tucker and a Gunnar Henderson. So 2 new ornaments for the tree. Oh, hello. Oh, and we got a Sammy. All right, we'll do you last, even though I've seen it. We'll go through my non-top loaders first. We'll go through them quickly because we've seen these already. I do still want to go to gym tonight. So we've got Adley and Westy and Kauser, Sangawa, Holiday, and Gunner, and Kobe. So one of the reasons I liked the baseball better is I feel like they just have more variations on the cards. Like the basketball, just wasn't a ton of variety. I will take these base cards and we'll give them away over the summer baseball season. I'll put them in my charity binders. This is just pure base. And then that means this is my Cubs pure base. We'll go through that quickly. A couple years ago, we actually went to a Cubs game. So I'd kept my eye on the Cubs for a few years after that. Not really super recently, because after that we went to St. Louis, and I really like St. Louis. We went to Seattle, but I didn't get to see them play. Where is it this year? New Orleans. So we won't see any baseball while we're in New Orleans. There's Shaw. Won't see any basketball either, unfortunately, because that is where Derek Queen is. Well, we are going to go to Texas. But not super close to Dallas or Houston. All right, let's go Cubs. We'll save the top loadery stuff for the end. See if there's anything special about this. I don't believe so. Oh. Yeah, I think people are home. Cha-cha! All right, so these are just our metallic parallels. I'm going to be slowing down on cards for the year. or next year. Either see if I can find another hobby or just get out of cards for a while. I'm enjoying going to games. Just haven't been feeling the cards as much. One of my goals for the year, though, is to get myself a co-host. I made my wife and kids co-host with me in the past. They don't really like it. Ideally, I would find someone who's in a local sports, into cards, hopefully connected with one of the teams that we actually follow. All right, Silver Parallels, Holiday, Sagawa. All right, here's a Gunner, top loaded. All right, this is kind of weird. All right, so the front of the card looks normal. The only thing special about it is it's got the snowflake on the back. I don't know how much more special that makes the card. Let me see if I can find the base Gunner. I mean, this is a cool thing. It does make it rarer. So at the front of the card's literally the same exact. And then the back, the base version has just the Oriole bird, and the special version has the snowflake. Is it the coolest thing in the world? No, but it does make him a little bit different. All right, here we go. So here's Kobe, but they've edited in the holiday lights. That's what I like about this set. Just do silly stuff like that. Jackson Holiday, but with the snowflake on the back. Another Gunner snowflake. A Jordan Westberg to $4.99. Then last card, Gunnar Henderson, player worn memorabilia. Was worn by the featured player. Witnessed by top representative. So guaranteed that he at least wore a jersey. Doesn't mean in a game. But they're claiming it. I'm not going to lie about that. So at some point, Gunner put that jersey on, maybe like for a second, and then took it off and handed it off to the rep who had it cut up and put in the card. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're going to close with some AEW game used. I only got a couple players in this break. Haven't watched AEW at all. WWE is coming to Baltimore soon, but I just haven't watched them at all. And they've gotten so expensive. So let's see. I do see some thicker stuff in here. No, it's all right. They packaged each person I won separately. Made it really hard to open. All right. We've got Excalibur. There's the happy little fella. We've got Jeff Jarrett. red. We've got Eddie Kingston. A base. And a numbered 299 for reasons I'm not sure about. Gold. Two more. We've got Taz to 99. Because he's gold. Yeah, he is. And our autograph. It's Action Andretti from Maryland. Significant signatures. And a base card. But that's going to do it for me. I'm going to head off of things. I might be back on Sunday for the Facebook Live show. Not sure exactly when or where, though, because it's a fairly busy time of the year. But we'll make up for it if we don't get it in. And I'm going to put these cards up on the tree, I guess. Yeah, take the dog out. We will be at the event tomorrow. So noon to 3 at Wardaka, unless he gets adopted sooner than that. Hope he does. He's a sweet guy. I wouldn't mind hanging out with him over the holidays. But if he gets adopted, that'd be cool too. See you guys.